Hi, Squiggler mates. We are doing an interesting experiment inspired by Chris Anders' experiment he did with hair. The lovely Christine's hair. And he also did an experiment with Coca-Cola. I misunderstood and thought that he was doing an experiment with hair, which was first going to be broken down by Coca-Cola. So, having tons of hair, because my golden doodle, when she does get a haircut, there's a lot of hair. In this video, Bella is sitting in for Christine. Take 2 takes to actually get a full haircut on her. When I had realized that I misunderstood Chris, he's the ultimate recycler on YouTube, so you can watch the video there. I'll put a link in the description for both videos. So when I did realize that I misunderstood what he was saying, I thought he was going to pre-compost the hair first to break it down in Coca-Cola and then give it to the worms. So that wasn't the case. He was doing 2 separate experiments, and I decided to go ahead and combine them because I thought it might actually work to break down the hair first in Coca-Cola, because Coca-Cola breaks anything down, right? So I gave it a try and cut her hair, kept all of this hair, and then added Coca-Cola to it, let it sit, and then we put it into the Vermigardens where the worms could get at it and break it down. So this is an experiment, and we will be seeing how the experiment worked in part 2 of this video. Part 1 is the hair and the Coca-Cola experiment, and then planting the hair out in the garden to let the worms have at it. And we will take a look pretty soon to see what's going on in there, and then we will see afterwards if anything was able to grow in that area, and if so, how well it grew and how large it grew and how much bigger it grew than anything else, just in case anything did grow there. So I'll show some pictures of the garden and what happened in there as well. Hair has a carbon to nitrogen ratio of about 20:1, so it's a bit nitrogenous. You might want to keep this in mind in case you're planning on feeding your bins with it. It seems more long term. Like the cell structure, the keratin protein would take longer to break down, so it may not be as instant release of a nitrogen. It may be a slower release. So this could be really interesting. So we've got Coca-Cola, and we've got a ton of hair. This amount of hair is about the average for one haircut, even though we did this one in 2 steps. Some of it's a little more compact than others. Okay. Is that your hair, Bella? Is that yours? Oh, I'm going to do an experiment with your hair. The Coca-Cola experiment. Let's see what happens. I wonder how largely it's going to bubble up. And no, you can't eat it though. Here we go. I think I was expecting it to melt down like really quickly. So this is 2 liter. So we used about 1.5 liters. Had a glass first. Don't normally drink it, but since it was here. Okay. I think this is pretty thoroughly saturated. Let's see if Coca-Cola breaks down hair, and if it does, then I can feed it to my worm farms. Fun, fun. We'll check back in about 24 hours. Okay. So it's been about 48 hours. The Coke and the hair. So it does feel a little bit sticky maybe, but I would not say that that's broken down enough. I don't know. Maybe we'll give this another couple of days. That is not broken down. We are outside right now and it is so windy, so I turned the sound off. But this looks pretty good. It actually feels a little bit different, and if anything, it seems to be pulling apart, stretching just a little bit. So I think those couple of days extra actually helped. So I think we're going somewhere. Let's get this planted up in the garden. This is the spot that I use as a feeding station. This is one of the corn cobs I buried a while ago. So it's gonna be in here somewhere, I think. Kind of cool. Maybe the corn cob is gone, but the corn is still here. Okay, so I'm gonna bury a section and while we're here we'll take a little tiny moment to, well, we don't need to smell the wormies, just play with them a little. And I get a big section here because that's a lot of hair. It is really windy right now. Cute little guy. Okay. Alright, let's see if this is big enough. Smells the Coke along with Bella's hair. It's just slightly alcoholic. Will be buried into a vermi feeding station in the garden. Okay. There's a lot here. And it's already got a head start with some mold. It is really stormy and windy outside, so I'm just gonna do this really fast. All the updates will be in part 2. Have a look. Thanks for hanging.